Hey everyone, this is Darien Hill here. I'm at the Black Health Summit in Orlando, Florida, and I have the distinct honor and pleasure to be here with Mr. Joe Madison. Such an inspiration. He was a keynote speaker today, and what I want to ask him, about the difference between personal responsibility and public relations. It's so important because that's a big topic today. Can you talk about the whole issue of personal responsibility? What you talk about today?
Personal responsibility and public policy.
Public policy.
And let's understand the definition. Public policy is what they do in state capitals and city council meetings. It's government. It's very important people understand the significance of public policy because it rules our life. And liberals often say it's all public policy. Well, and then conservatives always say, well, it's all personal responsibility. And you'll hear them when they're critical, particularly of the black community. We lack personal responsibility.
Sure.
Well, one, it's not true. And two, it's their way of saying that public policy is not important. So let me give you an example. We need schools. We need public funding of schools. We need to create and upgrade all our public schools. Public schools is what made this country different from European countries and schools all over the world. That's public policy. We get public schools because people vote for their taxes. They vote on what kind of books they're going to have. They vote on education. That's public policy. People debate it. Now, I can build the best school on the planet, but the personal responsibility means I got to send my child to that school, and that child has to be ready to read. And that child should be able to read, know their numbers, their colors, before they walk into that public school.
Absolutely.
That's personal responsibility. You know, black men have personal responsibility. We need to go to the doctor. We need to have our exams. We need to work out like you work out. We need to take on personal responsibility. Public policy is the Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare. That assures that no matter how rich you are or how poor you are, you've got affordable health care. That came about because of public policy.
True. Let me ask you this question. In the miseducation of the Negro, it says that if you can control the way a person thinks,
right,
you don't have to worry about their behavior. Talk about your whole concept of the media and how the media is really controlling
the media. Malcolm X is a quote that I used in the speech. Malcolm X said the media is the most powerful entity on the planet. Why? Because it can make an innocent man guilty, and it can make a guilty man appear innocent because it controls the way people think. Look at the media we have now. Fox News, in essence, can say, a commentator on Sunday morning, Fox and Friends, said that young people, not just African Americans, but young people shouldn't be allowed to vote because they can't read an entree on a menu. I mean, that's as close to poll taxes as we've ever had. Poll taxes, what we used to have, or literacy test is what he's proposing. It's just a more sophisticated way of saying what his grandfather said during Jim Crow. But once again, it's the media. And so he sits there and says this kind of thing, and nobody questions him. Nobody calls in. But thank God for, like what you're doing now. Every one of us, I can pull out my iPhone and do the same thing you're doing.
Sure.
And now we can send it, and literally with a touch of a finger, a button, it can go to millions of people, and then they can send it to millions of people. That's the power of the media, and so we need to learn how to use it and use it effectively.
Here's my last question. There's been big discussions over the years about what we need to do as an African American community, Caribbean American community to really move us forward. There's the discussions on the whole issue of economics and mobilization coming together because we're too scattered. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is that we should recognize, first of all, the significant the impact we have. One, we're over $1 trillion economy.
Sure.
Our GNP would be greater than the country of France, probably Canada. We spend a great deal of money. Problem is, 90%, 95% of what we spend, it immediately leaves our community. We're the only community that does that. And I think it was Tony Brown who made that point years ago. And he talked about this. In the Jewish community, that Jewish community will get $1 bill and they'll go to the Jewish baker, they'll go to the Jewish baker, the Jewish kosher meat butcher, they'll go to the real estate agent. That dollar will circulate for weeks, months, before it leaves the community. In the African American community, it's true. $1 bill circulates 6.5 hours before it's gone. Therein lies your problem. And the fact that we have to learn how to invest in real estate. We have to, like for example, I'm from Detroit. Right now, anybody with cash, you buy something. Because cash is king in Detroit. People are buying up land now and holding on to it, and they're getting ready for the future. That's really what it's about, and that we must demand respect from places we spend our money. I'm not saying we don't spend our money with other people, but those people we spend our money with should respect us, because in doing so, it means more money for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in closing, how can we get in contact with you? What's your website?
I'm just the same way. JoeMadison.com.
JoeMadison.com.
That makes it easy.
All right, fantastic.
All right,
well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your information.